In natural disasters, while the first line of response usually rests with the government authorities, the Red Cross is increasingly being utilized as an auxiliary and has played a very crucial role in bringing relief and aid to the Gujarat earthquake victims. Within hours of the earthquake, an appeal by the Indian Red Cross to the International Federation of Red Cross Societies and Red Crescent found ready response from donor societies such as the British, German, American, Japanese, Italian, Spanish, and the French. Several emergency response units, ERUs, were dispatched for Gujarat. Several plane loads of relief material arrived in Mumbai and Delhi and later directly at Bhuj Airport, operated by the Indian Air Force, which was open for special flights. The relief initially consisted of a field hospital, water sanitation units with engineers. While the Germans handled the water and sanitation areas, the Norwegian and the Finnish manned a field hospital, followed by the Japanese. The British looked after the logistics. Several other Red Cross societies like the Turkish have now joined the massive relief operations. Germany, how would you describe the response of the international community?
I can only really speak in terms of the response of our Red Cross and Red Crescent societies. You know, we're made up of 176 societies across the world, and we've had a fantastic response. People recognize that this is a huge disaster, and we have worked very quickly. We've got funds very quickly. As you can see, we've set up this hospital extremely quickly, and several other projects.
The large fields of the shattered Lalan College in Bhuj were converted overnight into a relief camp where food, clothing, particularly blankets, tarpaulins, and tents were provided for the victims. Day by day, a tented colony sprang up to house the administrative block, an outpatients department, operations theatre, and enclosure for aid material. The overriding factor was speed and quick response in a situation which demanded an urgency in medical treatment.
I sent teams to the field. Each day they go and they talk to the local authorities or voluntary agency, whoever is available. They see by themselves and they assess the need of the people. They come back to me and we all sit and discuss together in the evening. So next day morning we go and distribute at the moment they need blankets because it's very cold outside, and they need tents or some shelter materials like tarpaulin and plastic sheets.
Already aid to the tune of $16 million from foreign donors is being made available to help 3 lakh people with immediate shelter and blankets over a period of 3 months. Tents to shelter 25,000 people have been distributed along with some 65,000 blankets and 6,000 tarpaulins.
What we saw the first day were that we were treating about 140 patients a day. The last 2 days we are nearer to 300 patients at the OPD. So I think it's clearly that people come to know that this is a hospital and they can go there in lack of other facilities. And in this situation it's quite a pressure on us before we have established the routines and we have the adequate staff for the hospital.
The Red Cross has established a referral hospital in the Lalan College which can house nearly 400 patients, and a highly sophisticated surgical ward in the Sukhpur area of Bhuj, which has treated nearly 2,000 patients, and on an average, 10 complex surgical operations are being carried out every day. A similar hospital is being set up in Bachau, which will be run by the Spanish Red Cross Clinic. The hospital, raised in dusty surroundings, is trying its best to cope with an ever-increasing influx of patients who are now coming from the interiors of the quake-ravaged Kutch region of Gujarat.
Orthopedic rehabilitation in weeks to come will be very important. We have also got reports and also seen certain patients with problems, psychiatric problems as a shock. We have also seen an increase in myocardial infarctions and gastric ulcers because of the stress in the situation. We are now in a phase where we still deal with the direct result of the earthquake. But in time to come, we will deal with quite different type of problems.
The referral hospital, initially planned for a period of 3 months, is likely to remain in position for the next 1 year. The medical experts, many of whom are orthopedics and plastic surgeons, are experiencing shortage of local medical help in terms of trained nurses and other paramedical staff. This is where other institutions need to contribute for better treatment of the patients.
These Red Cross countries, the people, doctors are trying their level best, but due to the lack of the staffs, nurses and local doctors, they are not coping with the patient. Patients are so much. The tent, 2 days before there was 6 tents, and now there is 14 tents. And the injury lists are very big, but they are getting entry to the patient, but afterward, patients are not getting sufficient treatment due to the lack of the staff.
In the absence of the municipal water supply, the Red Cross is doing a yeoman service in providing safe drinking water to the public. Several wattage storage tanks in strategic points in Bhuj will provide clean water for the town residents. Similar water tanks will come up at Bachau in the next few days.
At this time, it's already treated water from the town water plant, but we treat it a second time because we need it in the operation theater. Here we will make the sedimentation that we just fill it in and wait until the sediments are on the ground. Then we pump it through this filter, what you can see there. We get extra chlorine in, and then we put it in the store tank. From there we distribute it onto higher tanks, and these tanks are connected by hoses and pipes to the rest of the hospital. And we have also a tap stand for the population, which is waiting for the medical treatment outside in front of the hospital.
Cross teams have begun a tracing program to link up missing people and are due to begin a psycho-social program for earthquake victims suffering from trauma or stress. There is a need to develop a community-based disaster preparedness program aimed at the state and district level, involving a more coordinated approach with the state governments and other organizations.
We are also trying to have program specified for states which are flood prone, states which are drought prone, and states which are cyclone prone. So we are dividing the country into the disaster which strikes them. For example, Assam is floods and earthquake. In Gujarat is floods, earthquake as well as drought. In Rajasthan we have drought. West Bengal floods. Andhra floods and cyclone. So we are trying to prepare the community to the disaster which is more prone.
The overall response of the people in the country and the international community has been overwhelming.